Alright guys, another day, another strength. Similar to the topic of deloads, we're going to talk about autoregulation today. And we're going to talk about some ways to do that, right? So, core principle here, SRA, stress recovery adaptation. The whole point of autoregulation is that you are allowing yourself to recover a little bit more so you can recover from the stress that you're applying to yourself, and then you can adapt to that and get stronger. So, this is a method of accommodating for that. Please excuse the medical emergency outside my apartment right now. But this style of programming avoids planning static sets times reps times weight generally. So instead of doing like 3 sets of 5 at this exact weight, you might do like 3 sets of 3 to 5, or you might do 3 to 5 sets. There's different options. So ask yourself, are you a novice? If that's the case, it's probably unnecessary because you're not able to stress yourself enough to where you need autoregulation, right? You can very reliably plan your next PR, and you can generally do it on a workout to workout basis. So keep doing that, keep getting stronger, right? And watch this video at a later date. If you're an intermediate now, the autoregulation is kind of built into your week because you're progressing once per week, and you might have something like a heavy, light, medium setup where you're hitting like a set of 5 on Monday at 100%, and you might be hitting like 3 sets of 5 on Wednesday at 80%, and then 2 or 3 sets on Friday at 90%, right? So you don't really need autoregulation just yet. It's kind of built in with that natural fluctuation, that like DUP essentially, daily undulating periodization during the week. Now, if you're advanced, now we're talking. This is where we can incorporate some of this good stuff, right? So one way to do it, the most famous way, and this is a method I don't actually recommend, is RPE/RIR. So I think you can take note of that while you're training. You can be like, all right, I probably had this many reps in the tank, and that can be useful. Excuse me. But I think that it's not a good programming variable to include in the program, right? So like sets, reps, weight, that's basically it. You don't want to have RPE or RIR be like a variable in the program. So you don't want to make program decisions based off of that sort of thing. Weight ranges now. Having a set number of sets and reps, and then you're hitting a certain weight within a range, right? So let's say you're doing 5 sets of 5, and your weight range is 155 to 175. So you might be able to hit 2 sets at 175 and then 3 at 155. And then the next time you try to hit 3 at 175, 2 at 155. And then you can even get crazier and hit like, 3 at 175, 1 at 160, 1 at 155, and just try to creep up 5 pounds at a time. Once you get all the sets and reps at the top of the rep range, or the top of the weight range, sorry, then you move up in weight. You can do the same thing in the inverse and have rep and set ranges. So that's the double progression. You can do, like 85 pounds, for example, 2 sets of 8 to 12. And then once you get 2 sets of 12, then you go up to 90, and you might go back to 2 sets of 8, and then you add a rep here and there until you finally get 2 sets of 12, then you add weight again. One of my favorites for strength especially is plus sets right here, right? So you have a minimum rep target. So let's say you're doing like 3 sets of 5. And what I like to do is have the last set, make it a plus set, where you can do as many reps as you want to. And this is great for a few different applications, I think. I like it a lot for when you're implementing a new movement into the program and you're trying to figure out how hard to go on it, right? So the first time you do it, you can add that plus set. So if you're like, all right, those first 2 sets, they were like kind of all right, but now I'm gonna rep it out. And then if you get like 14 reps on the last set, that's probably a bit light and you can make a big jump. But if you get like, 7 reps, then stop there, and then generally don't go to failure on those if you're training for strength. You can kind of go until you're, if you're advanced enough to be doing this, then you kind of know where you're about to miss reps. So you can stop at that point. But it's just an approximation, right? You just want to kind of be somewhere within like, you don't want to be getting like 11 or more reps on that plus set if you're doing a set of 5, for example. And then as far as strength goes, pretty much all these are going to work. As far as muscle goes, my favorite is the rep and set ranges, and that seems to be kind of standard across the natural bodybuilding YouTube sphere. But yeah, for good reason. So try these things out in your program if you're advanced. Let me know how they go, and I'll see you guys in the next video. All right, goodbye.